cat. What? Up. Up. Yes. Up. Yes. Up. Yes. Up. Yes. Ready? Up. Yes. Stall. Good. Whoa. Stall. Good. Up. Stall. Up. This is a tough one. Stall. Good. Off. Awesome. Great work, Effie. Great work. Hey, King. Oh, we got music too. King, house. Yes, let's make it rain. Get in here. It's raining. Yes. Yes, house. Yes, house.
Dude, that's sweet. That is sweet.
Yes, house. Mackay. Catch. Yes, house. Yeah, big man. Great work. Doo-doo. 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 House. Yes. All right. Come and see the show. We're doing it live. Cool.
That can, listen, that can be...
The Force is with you, young Skywalker. But you are not a Jedi yet. You don't know the power of the dark side. You don't know the power of the dark side.
Awesome. Are you ready? Let's do this. Don't get it at me. Whoa. Hey, hey. What's going on? Welcome to the dojo. ThrowDown Thursday. Who do we got? We got anyone? All right. We'll do quite a bit of throwing stuff tonight. Taking requests. Let me know. All right. So what do we got going on ThrowDown Thursday? All right. See you, Kingling. Let's see. All right, I think. Hang out just a little bit. That took forever. All right, so we're going to get started with disc principles for new throw creation. Going to run through that, and then we'll do the flick myth, followed by body is flick, flip and vault toss trajectory and placement, creative throwing for skills, and shaping and altering the landing mechanics with the next throw. That's what we're going to do. Hey, what's up, Michelle? How are you? Hope everything's going well. It's a little warm here. Just a little warm. Not looking forward to summer here, let me tell you. How's it going with Mojo, Michelle? Is he a little peppier with his work with you? A little more pep in his step? Pat McCune, Floribama State Line Bar. All right. Cool. All right, so Nice, nice. Hopefully you can catch that next part of the now and next cycle. Now and next play cycle. That next part, you're much more playful on your cue giving this last round. And if we can get that same thing as he's returning from eating his cookie, and you can deliver that connection consequently, get that transition of initiative to happen smoothly, you guys be firing. That'll be super cool. Excited for you, Michelle. All right, so disc principles for new throw creation. So wanted to go through just like basic principles of the disc, specifically for when you go to do new things, right? There are a few things that happen with discs that are critical, and they happen in all throws. And you can make a lot of really friggin' weird throws using it. And you can be fooled by throws that use some of those things. So, let's see. All right. Ooh, do we have a... Let me grab a... Chill, Epi, chill. Grab a P-Vibe disc here. Whoa, you see it, don't you, CupCake? You see it. Chill, guys. All right. So, Epi, stop. I see it. I see it, and so do you. It's not happening. Nothing. I'm talking about throws, buddy. I'm just talking about throws. That's a nice little smile you got. You want it? But you want it? But you can't have it. But you can't have it. I know you can't have it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, guys, that'll do. All right. So, first of all, catch high, fingers are on top. Catch low, fingers are on the bottom. Okay. When you're holding, you want to hold the whole disc. You don't want to be out here. If you're out here, you're going to be in trouble. See that hole there? You don't want to see that hole there. You want to get into the hand. Catch low, catch high. Fingers are on top. That happens right around the belly button. So, discs are always pulled. Right? They're always pulled. So this push throw, right? Looks like I'm pushing it, right? But if you notice, I'm pulling from the front. I'm pulling from there. If I get back here and I push, it won't spin. It won't spin and won't throw. So frisbees must be pulled. When we throw a backhand, it's pulled from the front. When we throw a sidearm, it's pulled from the front. When we throw the overhand wrist flip, Epi, get up there. When we throw the overhand wrist flip, it's pulled from the front. Okay? This throw here looks like it's pushed. It's not. It's pulled from here. I pull this way, right? So from here, I pull that way. By driving it this way first, when I pull, it goes up super nicely. So the first thing, even though we have this push throw here, right? It's actually being pulled. You can see it from that camera up there, I think probably a little better right now. So you can see it, it's being pulled here. You can see it's being pushed. It won't. Can't reach a CupCake. Epic. Come on. CupCake, I can't reach it. Thank you. That's very helpful. Right? I tried to push from the back. It won't fly from there. You have to pull from the front. So all discs are pulled, pulled, pulled. Even this one here that looks like it's pushed is pulled this way. Super important, super important idea. All discs are pulled. Basic disc dynamics stuff. So the disc is a wing. If we're going that way, the front of the wing, it goes up, it goes down. This is Hmong. This is anti-Hmong. Right? So this here versus flat, right? That's Hmong, flat, anti-Hmong. Hmong is what we use to make discs float and hover. We need Hmong on our brushes, so they go somewhere. Have to have a little Hmong on that so it goes forward. You do not want Hmong on your distance throws. Hyzer and anhyzer. Disc is curving left. Disc is curving right. If it is curving in the direction that it is spinning, so if it's curving, it's spinning in this direction, if it's curving in that direction too, that's going to be a roll or a turnover. If it's spinning clock and it falls off counterclock, that's going to be hyzer, right? So we have hyzer, anhyzer, spinning this way, it's curving that way. Okay, that's an anhyzer shot, that's a roller or a turnover shot. Hyzer, anhyzer, straight. Hyzer, spinning counterclock. When it fades, it'll fade clock. If I curve it clock, that's hyzer. If I curve it in the direction it's spinning, that's anhyzer. Right? Sidearm, you have a shit ton of mechanical advantage on this flick. Be super careful with it. You have to throw the sidearm down here with hyzer simply to get it to come up to flat. So hyzer, anhyzer, Hmong, anti-Hmong. You always push frisbees. They're deep in your hand. Let's see. All mistakes will be amplified into the wind. All mistakes will be amplified into the wind. When you're throwing into the wind, the disc will roll more. It will turn over more. You will need more hyzer throwing into the wind. Consequently, when you're throwing downwind, it won't turn over as much. And you will need less hyzer. You might even need some anhyzer. Anhyzer throws are downwind floaters. There you go. Basic disc dynamics. What else? Anything? The more it spins, the more stable it is, right? So when it's windy, you gotta spin the disc, guys. You gotta spin the disc. Yeah, I think I'll stop there. If you guys have any questions, hit me up. Feel free. Okay, so let's see. All right. Mastering basic techniques. That's what's up next. Epi, dude, co-host. Come on, dude. Come on. That was not okay. You have to do the thing there, Epi. Off. Good work. This is not your cookie, CupCake. It is not your cookie. You go, go, go. All right. Just running through a big list here, Michelle. All right, so basic techniques. Do I want to... So you want to make sure that you have the ability to make good throws first, right? Four hands form. Work the shit out of the four hands form, right? The overhand wrist flip, I think is the one you're talking about there. But you want to master the basic techniques before you try and throw any weird shit. If you have some weird shit that throws, that's cool. But don't train any weird shit that throws until you have backhand, sidearm, push, throw, overhand wrist flip. You need several clockwise and counterclockwise throws available. Clockwise throws go to dogs that are moving clockwise. Counterclockwise throws go to dogs that are moving counterclockwise. So if my dog is running this way, I'm going to throw a disc that spins counterclock. If you're my dog and we're running this way together, you can see this. You're at 2 o'clock, you're running to 10 o'clock, to me, right? From here, you can see this throw. If you're running across and I turn here, this is a blind throw. And this blind throw won't be seen. This is a resonant spin. Same thing, if we're going this way, you're going this way. I set up here, you can see it, right? You come right across in front of me and get it. If we're coming this way and I turn here and I make the throw, you can't see it. It's a blind toss. So resonant spins, super important. You need a clockwise spin and a counterclockwise spin so that when you're playing catch, boom, you can see that. Catch, you can't see that. Don't want blind tosses unless you want a blind toss. So you want to master the basic techniques. Backhand, sidearm, push, overhand wrist flip, white belt, four hands form. Do it. Do it. Remember that loading and posing are part of the basic techniques. All right. So when you apply advanced methods or you start to do crazy town throws, right? You're doing your 12 hands form or your 16 hands form or, you know, another 4 throws for your zigzag, right? You want to make sure that your dog only sees beautiful throws 90% of the time, right? Nice. Good, Michelle. You want 90% of the throws to be visible from here, right from my hand, boom, right to the catch. From my hand to the dog's face, right? They see it the whole way. You want all of your throws, 90% of them, to be exactly where they're supposed to be, and you want the dog to leap for them, right? And your dog doesn't have to leap 1,000,000 feet in the air, but Frisbee dogs leap, and that leap is a punctuation of joy. A punctuation of joy. Isn't it, Epi? It is a punctuation of joy. And that punctuation of joy is important to the feeling of the game, right? It can feel pretty frantic and anticlimactic if the dog simply runs down the catches all the time. But we want to be able to deliver thoughtful, precise, accurate leaping catches on every throw. We want to create... Epi, that's from cheese. That's from cheese. Yeah. Like, fuck that, Ron. Give me some cheese. Give me some cheese. I don't want pets from cheese. I want cheese itself. So you want to throw... all I do is the forehands form with my dogs. When I have a zigzag that I'm working in a routine or something like that, if I'm working the zigzag, I work that zigzag, right? But if I am working my routine, right, I'm probably throwing the backhand, sidearm, push, overhand, wrist flip. Right? Because what I want in that routine work is I want him always expecting to leap. Right? And I'm making a big point on this because I think people learn how to make a throw and they just start throwing it. And it's not fair to the dog. It's not fair to the dog. When April started with Kiva's first 3 contests, he only leapt this high for Frisbees. They were all backhands, couple of sidearms. April throws an overhand wrist flip really well, right? So her super, super basic throws. But his first 3 contests, all he did was superstar leaps. 4 feet off the ground on every catch. Every out throw was out there. April's interior sequencing and interior work was pretty standard, pretty vanilla. So the point here is that you want to apply the advanced methods quickly. Michelle, you want to learn new throws right away, right? You don't want to learn them or train them with the dog. You want to learn them on your own, and once they're really nice, that's when we start throwing them to the dog. Or that 1 time out of 10, we throw the crazy town at the dog and have 9 reps of quality placement, thoughtful approach. When you make a throw, and you stick it out there for the dog doesn't just run out there and catch it. The dog runs out there, gets their shit together, tracks the disc, collects, and leaps. And you want to stroke that over and over. Right? Every time you whip one and your dog takes off like 10 motherfuckers and catches it and saves your bacon, you just damaged your team. You know what I mean? You just damaged your team. Every time the dog takes off and you don't throw, and the dog looks in and then you throw, now that dog was reinforced for looking in, and they look in, and from that look in, they go get the disc. Now they're targeting the disc, they're tracking, they're in a good head space and physical space to perform the sequence of events for the leaping catch, to be thoughtful about it. We don't just want the dogs flying around out there, right? If the dogs are just flying around out there and we're just whipping shit around, that is going to fall apart rather quickly. So do the advanced crazy throws, do them, work them on the net, work them in practice, catch, in games of catch. It's a terrific place to work those things, right? And get them solid enough that you can drop them in with very little reduction in your accuracy and precision. Make sure you throw good discs to your dog, right? Don't throw the kitchen sink. All right, so experimenting with new throws. We want to make sure that we do everything properly and correct, right? And that we stay on task and that we're hitting criteria. We know what our criteria are. We're being a splitter, not a lumper. We're doing all these good dog training things, right? We're staying focused and we're on task. And then you go and you make that move, that throw, and something crazy happens and you're like, holy shit, that was amazing. Jump on that shit. Jump on that shit. Try and make it happen again, right? When it presents itself, take advantage of it, right? So you have to be aware of that. And it's easy to get carried away trying to do a new throw. I'll tell you a story. So the overhand wrist flip skip, pretty famous for that. I threw it back in '99, and it was a real jaw dropper, right? And so skip, chill with that throw, right? I can't reach a CupCake, you can get it. Chill that. Epi, get up there. Up, right? Good girl. Awesome. Go do dog stuff. So that overhand wrist flip skip, when I was learning how to do it, right? I threw a disc, I got pissed, and I whipped it out there, and it skipped off another disc. Overhand wrist flip. Ah, fuck! Ah! I whipped it, and it skipped, and I was like, holy shit. So I threw a bunch of discs out there, and I spent, I don't know, hour maybe, hour and a half, trying to skip discs off of the discs that were on the ground. And I was doing that, and I may have hit one or two of them, right? But every one of my throws, every single one of them was jumping up and skipping 40 yards. I could have thrown toss and fetch with the skips I was making, with the overhand wrist flip skips I was making. Like, I could have thrown toss and fetch with them. And I was out there and I was cranking these throws out that were completely fucking amazing, you know? But my focus was so tight on getting it to skip off of that other disc, chasing that thing that I did the first time, that I didn't recognize that all of these throws were super cool. I could do them anywhere. I didn't need to hit this, 11-inch circle with my disc. I could skip it anywhere. And, about an hour and a half, 2 hours into the training, fucking 100 degrees, slaving away out there, whipping discs and shit. And I was like, son of a bitch, I can do this without the disc, right? So the thing that I want to mention about experimenting with new throws, right, is that you want to be real quick to jump on something that's amazing and cool and fresh. But remember that you don't know what you're doing, right? You don't know what you're doing. When I started doing that, I didn't know what I was doing. And I was
I was so into the letter of the law of the thing that I wanted, right? I got to skip it off that disc, that I just completely didn't even recognize that what I really wanted was happening way better, way easier, way cooler, way more usefully by not having to hit that disc, right? I was freed up to do it anywhere. I could even do it in toss and fetch without a disc on the field, right? So one thing that I'd mention when you are trying to do new throws and shit is, and I mean new like there isn't even a tutorial on it kind of thing, you know? You want to be sure that you recognize that you don't know what you're doing and that there probably is no real right way to do it, right? And I think that's pretty important because we can get myopic and dumb about what we're doing, like I was. Like I was throwing 42-yard overhand wrist flip skips reliably. Literally could have thrown toss and fetch with them. And was out there screaming like an asshole because I couldn't hit the disc. So dumb. So be aware that when you are doing something brand new that you don't know what you're doing, right? And that you might be best to not have it too clearly in your brain, right? All right, so all right, I have to go back to understanding disc dynamics. Two more tiny little things, and then we're going to move on into the flick myth, into the rest of the Throwing Thursday presentation. So the oh, do I want to? Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. All right. So, any questions on basic disc principles for new throw creation? You guys good on that? All right. So 9:41, 41 minutes in, and we're on to number 2, 4100. And flick myth. All right. So, Frisbee. There is no flick in Frisbee. You do not purposefully flick the disc. The disc is flucked, right? The disc is flucked. You don't flick it. It is flucked when your arm stops moving forward. And that is a really, really important one, guys. This is not quite as true with heavier plastic, heavier discs. Different types of discs, golf discs, you have to put some mustard on in terms of the final flick. You have to actually kind of finish them. But that kind of finish on our discs is overkill. It's too much spin, too much stability on the disc. Our discs are very understable, right? So what happens with our... So here, watch, I'm going to flick my wrist. That's as hard as I can flick my wrist, right? Take a look at this. Bang. This or that, right? So this or that, right? What happens here is the arm stops And when the arm stops, look how violently that disc snaps, right? When I'm here and I flick, super slow. Bang, bang. So the arm stops. When the arm stops, the disc keeps going. And so that stopping of the arm, we got a video on this. You guys can watch it. I don't really want to go too far into it. But the arm stops. It's that stopping of the arm with a loose wrist, right? So I flick my wrist here, right? Or here, I'll do it up, right? Make a super tight fist, I flick up. I got nothing, right? I loosen my fist and flick up. It's much faster. I straighten my fingers and flip up. It's faster still, right? Now, when I move my arm with the loose wrist, look how sharp and quick that snap is. So the stopping of the arm with the loose wrist is what creates spin, right? Another way that we can think about this is to throw 30 yards and tear 20 yards off, right? Throw 30 yards, tear 20 yards off. That's a really nice way to get a 10-yard floater, a 10-yard disc that jumps out there and sticks and hovers out there. All right. Let's see. When you're throwing, particularly when you're throwing distance, not quite as true when we're throwing shorties and inside stuff. But when throwing distance, you don't really let go of the disc. You hold the disc tight enough that it slips out of your hand at that snapping point. When that snaps, your grip is not strong enough to hold it, and it tears out. And that tearing out is what gives the disc its spin. If we just let go, then there's no spin imparted to it. I'm spinning it, and I get here and I let go. I only got the spin that I generated there. If I'm spinning it, and I don't let it go, and it gets here, and it's been spun, and it slips out, all of that shit going around the outside gets... The attack on the spin is super fast. It's held from spinning, and now it's not. And now it's spinning like 10 motherfuckers. So we want to make sure that we have a loose wrist, and that that we do our best to put the spin on the disc to put the flick on the wrist with the stopping of the arm. I can demonstrate some of those in a few. All right, perfecting the flick technique. Yeah, I don't have anyone here to show that. I need someone to show it. You'll have to watch the video. If anybody's here who's on the site, if you could look up the Flick Myth video, that would be terrific. If not, I'll try and find it here. All right, so where are we at now? All right, any questions on the flick myth? There's no flick in Frisbee. All right, here we go. Bodyist flick throws. Got to get my fat ass off the thing, Epi. Epi, why are you not on your co-host chair? What is the deal with that? Huh? What is the deal with that? All right. Epi, get up there. Good. Good. CupCake, get up there. King-a-ling. King-a-ling. Get. Not you. Excuse me. Not you. CupCake. Chill. All right. So. Excuse me. Excuse me. CupCake. King. Get off. CupCake. King. Chill. CupCake. Chill. Keep your shit together, sweetheart. Keep your shit together. All right. Dude. Do 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 do. All right, that'll work. Let's see, we got everything. I think we got everything. Yep. Move this down here. Boom, Bertha. All right. All right, so body is flick. When I throw behind the back, chill. Right? I hit here. If I just let go here, right? Did you see how that, excuse me, did you see how that came off when I let go? Right? What I want to do instead is I want to crank this and hit my hip. Do you see that flick there? Bang. That flick is what is going to make this throw work in all wind conditions. Okay? On your hip. When you crack it on the hip, the arm stops. Right? The arm stops. And once the arm stops, the disc keeps going. Right? So behind the back hits your hip. Under the leg, same thing. Right? You want to crack the disc up under your knee pit here, right there. And I'll throw a couple where I'll let them go. Right? And you can kind of see it. Come this way. Come this way. Right? If I let go, it doesn't do much. When I crack my knee pit, see how sharply that comes out? Right? That's body as flick. Excuse me. Dude. Thank you. Latas. You fucking bunch of boy dog savages in here. Assholes. Assholes. All right, so under the leg, and I crack it on my knee pit, right? There. And you can see that disc snap. Right there. To the 2. To the 1. To the 3. To the 3. All right. So, couple of behind the body throws that were, well, that's body is flick. So, this body is flick move happens, what do I want to do? All right, so the reason that I'm working this right now, Georgios was working on, he wanted to do a foot brush, under the leg throw foot brush. So he wanted to go here and there, here and there. See how far that was out in front of me? Here, there, here, there. Excuse me. Here, there, right? So getting that disc to come back up on you, to not have it fly 1.5 meters out in front of you where you can't kick it. When you do this, what you want to do is you want to make your serve. So what happens most of the time is you do this and it shoots out there, right? So what you want to do is you want to throw it behind you, right? So I tried to throw that literally behind me and it went up. And try again. Much closer to getting it behind me, right? I want to pull it behind me. So when you're working this and you want to work under the leg to foot brush, when you go here, pull it behind you. And by trying to pull it behind you, holy shit, whew. All right, that's enough foot brushes for me. Apparently the top of my foot has a nerve that I was not quite aware of. So with that body is flick, we can send this up, and in order to get it to come up here, you're going to have to try and throw it 2 yards behind you, right? All right, so body is flick. From here, overhand wrist flip. See that my arm can't go any further. Once it hits there, that disc takes off. And it's a beautiful throw because the body stopped the arm from going. And by the way, that's used to be one of the best throws that I made, but I can't lift my shoulder up. So can't quite do that one anymore. But it's super useful, right? Just reach around, use your neck to flick. Just flick the disc with your neck, Michelle. Just flick the disc with your neck, that's all. All right, couple more body is flick. When I throw a distance throw, right? You see it snap out there? Do you see that my body can't go any further? That also is body is flick. There. There. right? So I'm letting go when I can't go any further forward. Body is flick. All right. I'll be right there, Michelle, or whoever hit that. Push throw. We make this push throw. There's no real body is flick available for it, right? So it's really hard. If we turn away from the target and go here and just drive to the 2, right? We have this body is flick thing working really nicely right there. I want to check that and make sure that the wing is up a little bit, right? So that there is going to ensure, check it, see that wing up? Boom. That wing up is going to ensure that I don't roll this thing over. If I don't have the wing up, I can do something like this and do that. Check it there. And that's body is flick on the push throw. All right. And I think I'm done with the body is flick thing. Come back, we'll see what's going on. Rah! Right, Epi? Rah! I know. I know. Yep. Flick with the neck. Yes, Michelle. Yep. The flicking of the... This covers most of the stuff that I just covered here. So you guys can give that a look. It has 9 articles on the topic. The Camp 1 loose wrist flick discs is really solid. That's probably one you want to watch. Loose wrist flick discs. Oh, come on, dude. Come on. All right, let's see what we got here. I didn't want to do that. Don't stop. There we go. 6 more. Show me this 6 more. So the flick myth. Hang on. There we go. All right, so the flick myth, that's super old. Behind the back and under the leg, that's pretty solid. Loose wrist flick disc, that's a Camp, that's super solid. The closed shoulder, super important. Flamingo throw goes over body is flick. Body is flick, that's a really nice article right there. And then, yeah, there you go. So that link right there ought to get you there. All right, let's see what we got. Shabanya. All right, so, something I didn't mention. The body is flick. When you are making those throws, they're automagic. They're straight up like automagic. When you hit here and then the disc goes, you can't go too far. This finger on the rim, don't put this here unless you're doing something less than 4 yards. Okay? I'm just going to use that arbitrarily. You want to tuck it under a little bit. Putting this finger here, it takes a long time for the disc to roll off of that finger. Right? One of the reasons that the body is flick is super precise is that it tears out of our hand very quickly. This slow release as it rolls off of our finger here, right? That takes a long time. If it tears out all at once, right? Boom. If it slow rolls off, right? We don't know where it's going to roll. Is it going to roll off that way? Is it going to roll off that way? I don't know. So, body is flick will markedly improve the sharpness and accuracy of your throws. All right, the influence of body positioning. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there actually. All right, how are we doing? Yep. Yeah, and Michelle, you want to, so the push throw, if we're in the center, if we're right in the center, it comes out like a change up. Right? It's like, Here, epi, pop, ep. Come on. Good work. So, CupCake, up. Chill. So from here, you can see I'm right in the center. You can see it come out like a steady speed. If I cheat to the front a little bit, it's a sharper movement coming out of my hand. If I get behind it a little bit, right, it's even slower. If I get all the way up into the front, this is called a staker here. You put your middle finger on the rim, pinch between your middle finger and thumb, and snap it. That's a staker. If I get real close to the staker, it comes out like a fastball. So the closer I get to the, excuse me, get up there. The closer I get to the center of the disc, the slower that push throw comes out, and the more it has this kind of dead change up. Get up there. Get up there kind of vibe. Dude, just because you dropped it doesn't mean you get to go get it. Hold on to it. Hold on to the thing. All right. All right, so flip and vault trajectory and placement. So I'm going to talk about this real quick. I've hit on it a couple of times. Happy. Up. Good work. All right, so that's my dog. Here's his head, there's his tail. With the flip toss, I want to be able to control where it lands. I want to be able to control the height on it. That was a little hard, right? Too hard. All right? You can see the two. Right? I'm going to go up to here, drop it on there. Go up to there, drop it on there. Try that one more time. right? I want to be able to hit both the landing place and the apex, right? I also want to be able to drop it in there, right? I'll go even further. Hang on. See it? Trying to match that angle. I should do some, I need some, like I need an alligator clip, right? So I'm here, I'm going to drop that in there. I'm here, I'm going to drop that in there, right? Yeah, you guys are going to have to see that. I don't have much for that. Again, I want to be able to control the apex. Whoops. The apex, as well as that landing point, right? So, when I'm throwing a flip, the center line of the dog is vertical. To this side is counterclock. To this side is clockwise, right? So what I want to do is I want to apex. Now his head goes to there, right? So if I'm standing here and I apex it there, I want it to land right on the back corner of that wood. A little too far, a little too far. Behind the dog. So if I'm going counterclock, I'm going to throw this up. Epi, up, nope, up. Up. You got it. I know. You're okay. Come on, up. Good. Sit. Pretty. Okay. So this is Epi, pretty. Pretty. I know. It's hard. Yep. Good. Okay, so he's going to be that tall. Off. Over here. Off. So he's that tall before he flips, right? That means that my throw has to be 12, 15 inches higher than that for him to flip. So when I throw this, I'm going to throw, he was this tall when he was sitting pretty. Nope, don't do it, Epi. He was this tall when he was sitting pretty. I'm going to put it up that high, and I'm going to drop it on that back corner there. A little too far. Right on that back corner. Boom. Boom. All right. So, anything else on flips? Angle of the flip. He has to be able to reach over and bite it. If it's here, you're okay, Appy. Yeah, mine. So he can't bite it if that angle isn't, yes, mine, isn't towards him. Dude. It's like, I can't even bite that, Ron. I know, I see you. You're awesome, Epi. Go do dog stuff. All right, any questions on flip tosses? If you have questions, I will hit on them. I'm going to move on to vault tosses now. When you are, you can use the same principles here for the vault and the flip. No, CupCake, go, go, go. I know this is super fun, but you can't have it. It's not for today. That's not what we're doing today. Funny. I got a bunch of cords up there that I can't figure out how to get around. All right. So I like to have, I can do this on anyone. I have a bunch of nails, right? Like I could do this here, throw my vault toss there, hang it. I want to hang it on that nail, right? I want it to hit here very softly and hang there. I don't want it to hit. I want it to drift down and just hang there. I know you guys can't see that far, but I think you can probably catch what I'm talking about. I can also do that with the flip toss, right? So those are nunchucks, by the way. I can hit the nunchucks in the center. I can hit them at the top. I can hit them at the middle. I can hit them at the bottom. I can use this as a guide for my flip. CupCake, get up there. Get up there. Epi, get up here. Come on. Get up here. Up, up. Up, up. Come on. Chill. Kind of, Michelle. Tell me how old he is, and we'll come up with something. So the vault toss. So I'm this tall in my vault, right? When Epi sits pretty, he's this tall. This throw is probably a little short for Epi in his back vault, because I think he's going to jump more than 6 inches, right? Now, some people freak out because, oh my God, my dog's like 7 feet tall. That's how high the dog is going to jump, right? And Epi jumps about that high normally when he's being big, right? This height is no big deal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my vault toss touch the bottom of that disc. Just touch it, right? Just touch it. Right? I don't want to crank it. I don't want to smash it, right? All I want to do is barely touch it. Barely touch it. So I can work back here. I can make that up and down. Again, I'm just trying to touch like exactly how high that disc is. That was too high, right? All right, last thing on the vault stuff. Sideways to the target, standing up, toss, hold here, toss, dip, toss, dip, toss, dip, dipping toss. As you go down, boom, we have toss, dip, we have dipping toss, and then we have dipped toss. All right, and I will do one thing on this. There. You'll notice that my precision and accuracy is not nearly as tight on that one. You will have a preference for clock or counter. So there you go. I'm going to stop on vault tosses there. Find a target. You can use a ceiling. You can use the ceiling. Let me show you a couple more. So do we have anything that's going high enough that you can see that? So I could go here, right? See, you probably didn't see it, but it barely touched that, right? Barely touched it. Can't even hear it. That's too hard. That's too short. That's 2 inches too short. That was almost perfect. Almost perfect. Totally perfect. You also want to go high, right? If I'll go up to the ceiling, right? I'll go up to the ceiling. Listen. Too short. Too short. Did you hear how loud that was? Pretty hard. That was great. That was even better. Super close. That was nice, right? Ooh, did you hear that? That barely touched anything. So now when I go and throw here, this shit is easy, right? I can go 20-foot vault, barely touch. I can go 10-foot vault. Whoops. Too hard. Barely touch. I can go this tiny vault, barely touch. All right, I'm done. And I'm done here. And we're done here. Right, Epi? Yeah, you know. CupCake, CupCake. Yes, good girl. Great work. Whoa. Good job. All right. Let's see. Nice. All right, guys. Give me 1 sec. I have to gotta do some stuff real quick. Let me run a quick video.
Tell them to go to dog stuff.
Go to dog stuff.
All right. What are we doing? Flat work compass?
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh. Cool. Yeah, good boy.
All right. Now it's at 2 o'clock there. That's great, John. Out, yes. Block. Good. Good.
Yeah, Jeep.
Nice, John. Yep, that's great. A little bit off.
All right. All right, let's wrap this up, guys. Let's wrap it up. All right, so. All right, Mojo, good beginner trick. So bite work is a good beginner trick, Michelle. It's hard for me to recommend something with him at this time because I've only seen him chase the rabbit. Right? And when we do the tricks close to us, the interior moves and stuff like that, it's not rabbit chasing. Right? It's not rabbit chasing. And so I don't know what he's going to do. Through scoot, twist, heel position, side position, around, right? Do the setup move drill. Is it? I think it's white belt. It's white belt or yellow belt, and I think it's yellow belt actually. But look up the setup move drill on the site and do it. It's 3 reps clock around, 3 reps counter around, go do dog stuff. 3 reps backwards through, so halfway around and then come out through the legs from back to front. 3 of those clock, 3 of those counter. Then 3 weaves. It's also in the Puppies and Jam graphic novel. That might be a better place for you to look at it, Michelle. That Puppies and Jam class might be better there. So yeah, pretty tough for me to tell you. If he were a little more border collie like on his frisbee, like a little more intensity between the reps, and if he started playing with you with cookies like he did in your last Where's the Trigger session, I might be able to push you into a mechanical frisbee direction. But because he's chasing the target and he gets it and he does whippety things, and when he's working cookies with you, he's not super sharp, super hot shit. It's hard for me to give you a, like, I don't know how he's going to respond when you throw a dumb little fucking throw like this. You know what I mean? But put the setup moves on him. In your training, utilize some of the Where's the Trigger stuff. Try to get that this weight next so that you can field him coming back in. And if we can build up a little bit of game, yes, out, yes, out, yes, twist, yes, out, awesome, get it, awesome, go do dog stuff, right? If we can get it more like that rather than, yes, okay, I'm ready now. Yes. By the way, his cookie eating certainly got shorter, didn't it? Right? I didn't notice him lip smacking nearly as much this round. But we can generate the game. Let's generate the game first. Setup moves. And then we'll use that to drive the pace of the game and to create the game and give us some leverage to get him cracking on things that are not just things that look like rabbits. All right, a lot of talking there. A lot of talking. So the last thing that I'm going to hit on here, shaping and altering the landing mechanics with the next throw. This is directly towards you, Michelle. And towards what we were talking about. And it's also towards a bunch of us. So when Mojo makes a catch, he's a whippety thing, right? He makes the catch. He's like, yeah! And he derp it, 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 derp, and here he comes, right? He's got the big outrun. he's going fast, he's running hard, he makes a catch, and he has this victory lap kind of outrun. That is pretty typical for a toss and fetch situation. 6 cookies per minute, maybe. Right? Not a lot of reason to hustle for 6 cookies per minute. Right? It's the game is not fast enough, not aggressive enough. We have no control when the dog is away from us 40 yards, right? So when the dog lands, let's go over landing mechanics real quick. Front feet first, you want a front-footed landing. The first time your dog jumps out of the truck or out of the car and lands on all 4 feet at the same time, call me. Will never happen. The only reason it would ever happen is if the dog slipped when they were jumping out of the truck. Right? It's the only reason it would ever happen. Dogs land on their front feet. That is the natural movement dispersion pattern that they have. And a lot of times people want that 4-footed landing at the same time. 4-footed landing is similar to a 2-footed landing for us. And when it comes to track and field, in order to do a 2-footed landing at speed, we have to jump into a pit of sand. Right? Triple jump, guy sprinting, jumps, lands on the same foot, jumps 20 feet, 2/3 the distance of the long jump, right? But because he lands on 1 foot, he skips through to the next step. And that skip through to the next step disperses all of the energy, right? When we land with finality in the long jump, when we land with 2 feet in the long jump, we land with finality. When the dog lands on all 4s, they land with finality. There's nowhere for them to go from there. When they land on their front 2 feet, it's like the triple jump. They land on their front 2 feet, they take a little bit of it, and then their rear feet slide through, step in, and they walk through the landing. And that idea is super important. Front feet first, a little bit. Then the rear feet hit, then they walk through. A 4-footed landing is a final landing. It's a landing with finality. And that landing with finality does not allow them to recover from any mistake, and it also doesn't allow them to disperse it with their momentum. So super important there. The impact of the next throw on the landing. So where you're at right now, Michelle, you've just been tossing, fetching, throwing disc to your dog. He's a whippet as well. Your next throw hasn't done anything for his landing or for his release from that landing. It has, actually. Your next throw is coming 20 seconds later, right? So with your next throw coming 20 seconds later, my landing doesn't matter, and I'm in no rush. When I land, you cue out and you throw it 40 yards that way. I'm facing this way. I catch, you say, yes, out, and then throw it 40 yards. Right? What? Boom, I go get it. On the next one, I catch it. I start my out run. You tell me out. I drop it. You throw it 90 degrees. Now I make the catch and I turn 90 degrees and look at you. Because I know that shit's happening over there. Right? So where the next trick is happening is where your dog is going to release to. Your dog always releases to opportunity. So in Mojo's case, there's no real opportunity after the big long catch. There's no opportunity until I get back to the handler, right? Or if you've been doing your flipping the field, until my handler tells me drop and my teeth come off, nothing's going to happen. So there's no real reason for him to go there. For people who are doing, who are more along the more developed freestyle wise, yeah, yep. So you are now starting to impact his release, right? And what we're talking about here is exactly that. You don't have all of the handling skills to do more interactive stuff. Sorry, to handle the dog into more interactive stuff. If he were a border collie or something other than a sight hound, you would probably have a much easier time at getting new things going on because he would be doing different things. The whippet chases the thing, catches it, and then they like to leg it out and ease up and come loping on back in, right? They're not big on like, I gotta kill everything. They like to get the thing and then they like to hang out with the thing and then they like to do it again, right? They're not like a border collie where it's, I gotta have the thing. Give me the thing. Give me the thing. Where's the thing? I got the thing. There's another thing coming. I know it. We have to kind of bring that in for him. We have to bring that into the game. So for those of you guys who are a little further along development-wise in the freestyle thing, there's an opposite problem. When you do the vault, right? The dog lands and they know something's happening. So they land and they turn towards the handler right away. And pretty soon the dog is doing the vault, and as they're doing the vault, they're turning in the air so they can be quicker to return to the handler. Also on reverse vaults, a lot of times the dog likes to finish facing the handler. And there's a natural disposition for that, how the dog flips, but there's also the next trick that's making that happen. When we go back vault to hoop, back vault to over, back vault to through, right? Back vault 2, right? That back vault 2, that dog is there on 2. And when you do the back vault and always return to you, or always throw out, keep the dog out there, you've done the back vault, the dog is catching it, you whip one out there, the dog sees it before they land and they go get it. If you always do that, the dog, if they don't see the target out there before they land, they're landing to come back here. And so we have the natural flipping direction on the rebound. We have the natural release direction after the vault, right? And those things are based upon the dog. But we shape them with what we do next habitually, right? So if I always go rebound to back vault, you can be damn sure that that rebound is going to finish with that dog standing facing me, right? And Georgios and I, we got into this. He had some issues with this. He's trying to do a rebound air bounce under, and Hermes is flipping. So Hermes does a loop. He goes up and he comes down and he winds up facing Georgios again. Well, when Georgios throws this, his second throw is going out there. As Hermes is turning around, putting his face towards Georgios again. The disc is shooting under him. And so Hermes is in no man's land. He did like an extra helicopter move up there to try and get on track for the target. So now Georgios, in order to do this air bounce under, he has to shape the rebound throw, or the rebound landing. And the thing is, he's only done the rebound to front position. What we're going to do with this is we're going to go rebound, and we're going to pull the dog in the flank. So he'll rebound the dog here, rebound, boom, dog will go and get the disc, right? He'll land, and when he lands, out, yes, pull, and Georgios will pull and make the throw. And by pulling and making the throw, that will change where the next trick happens. And when the next trick isn't right here on the handler, the dog is going to give us some angle and some outrun. Right? Important. Right? And we can actually shape the landing of the trick by where we put the next throw. All right. And I think I'm going to be done there, guys. Michelle, do you have any questions? Who else is here? All right. I'm not hearing much. We'll do the patrons. Thank you for hanging out at the dojo for Throwing Thursday. Show is brought to you by patrons of Positive Vibe. Show would not be happening without you guys. Thanks a bunch. Patrons get access to classes, get access to me, and get access to other goodies like ebooks and project development. And also you'll get credits on any books or serious projects that I put out. Boom. All right. Thanks a bunch, patrons. Appreciate it. Very much so. All right. So, here we go. I am going to play us out with, badass meme roll number close. No, I'm not. Grr. Where is it? 18, 19, 1. Here we go. All right. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. You got it, Michelle. We'll see you soon. Hopefully we'll catch you in a class sometime. Look at that. No Play Plus today. It wasn't a fucking philosophy geek. Good job, Ron. Good job. What you doing, handsome? Thank you. Very nice guy. CupCake. Oh, look, she's so smart. Oh, look. You coming up? Do it. Come on. Come on. Come up through the chimney. Come on. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Come on. Yeah, you got it. Get up there. Get up there. Oh, look. Oh, do it. Do it. Do it. Good work, CupCake. Wow. Through the chimney. You're like a Dickens novel dog. That's what you are. Off. Off. You are like a little chimney sweep, CupCake. Little chimney sweep. Boo doo doo doo. Thanks a bunch, guys. Have a good one. Say bye, Epi. Bye, Epi.